Each week, American Artifacts visits museums and historic places. Next, join us for a visit to Milwaukee.
While the Pabst Mansion is 20,000 square feet, the Pabst family was actually only using about 8,000 square feet. The rest, 12,000 square feet, was actually used by the servants, and that was servants' area around the house. So when I'm asked by people over the years why these houses didn't survive, I think that's one of the key reasons. They were never built to be used as single-family homes without a huge staff. The Pabst family had about 12 to 15 servants, indoor and outdoor, day help, and live-in. So, I mean, it was a very large and kind of sophisticated staff. The family had their butler and their maids and their cook had actually stayed with them for a tremendous amount of time, almost the entire time they were in this house. And so there was this interesting congeniality between the Pabsts and their staff, and it's reflected by kind of the ornateness of the servants' quarters of the house. And I've been in quite a few house museums and stately homes, and I've always been struck that how kind of charming the Pabst Mansion's servants' quarters are. This is the servants' dining room. And this room and I have had a very personal connection because in my mid-20s, I volunteered to strip all of the white paint in this room. And every wood surface in here had about 5 layers of white paint. And what I thought was going to be a 3-week project actually turned out to be a 14-month project. And I'm surprised I actually wasn't kicked off the property during that entire restoration. But the restoration project actually restored a sense of balance to the mansion that they thought so much of their staff that they would actually create such a magnificent space for them to work in. And this particular room, being their dining room, they would have spent a fair amount of time in. All of the Delft tile is original and hand-painted, and each scene, while it seems to be the same tile repeated over and over again, the cloud or the ship or the castle are in different positions, so it really is truly individually hand-painted. When we were doing the restoration of this room, we realized that there had been a stencil pattern up on the wall, and so that was recreated based upon the original photographs. But after it was on the wall, we realized that it was also mimicking the 3 tulips in the tile work as well. And so we started really thinking about that, so much time and effort had gone into the decoration of this room. It was pretty extraordinary. Captain Pabst loved little turns of phrases. And so as a way to motivate his staff, and it's worked for me all these years as well. He had these stained glass windows created for the servants' quarters. Unfortunately, only 3 of these windows survive, and I'd love to know what the other 7 windows said. But the one on the left, which I had to look at for 14 months while I was working on the restoration of this room, drove me a little crazy. It states, "A good attitude is half the work." So it is true. And the one at the right was originally placed near the rear entrance to the house. And that states that as the servants were going out to deal with the daily vendors for meats and produce, and that one states "buy with your eyes open." So they're very practical, but they are worthwhile to remember as well.
You can watch this or other American Artifacts programs anytime by visiting our website, cspan.org/history. And watch American Artifacts every Sunday at 8 a.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. Eastern, here on C-SPAN 3.